And they're off. Racing for the opener on Kipco British Champions Day, and Trawlerman bounces out boldly on the inside running rail to lead fractionally early from Saratoga the Grey. Al Kareem on the outside, and then Stay True and Sweet William at the back of the field, usually held up in his races as they pass the enclosures in this Kipco British Champions Long Distance Cup, the first of 5 Group 1 races on the card today. And the Gold Cup winner and past winner of this race, Trawlerman, with a narrow lead over Al Kareem, who recently won his 3rd Cumberland Lodge Stakes on this course. Loves Ascot. Back in 3rd is Saratoga, and then Stay True, and 2.5 lengths to Sweet William. Approaching the 1.5 point from the finish and beginning the run downhill, the long run downhill towards Swinley Bottom, and Al Kareem now takes over and gallops into a 2.5 length lead over Trawlerman, followed by Saratoga and Stay True, the 2 Coolmore runners, stride for stride, and Sweet William still held up by Rab Havlin at the rear of the field. So on the descent now, and approaching the final 1.25 miles, Al Kareem and Clifford Lee from William Buick aboard the favourite Trawlerman. Stay True and Christophe Soumillon on the inside of Saratoga and Wayne Lawton, and finally Sweet William and Rab Havlin. Very soon they'll be swinging right-handed at the bottom end of the racecourse, and they're just about to pass the mile marker. Al Kareem from Trawlerman in 2nd. Saratoga on the outside. Up the rails, Stay True, the St Leger 3rd, and Sweet William last of the 5. About to climb out of Swinley Bottom, approaching the final 7 furlongs, and it's pretty much uphill from here on in. And Al Kareem, who is a relentless galloper, goes on by about 2.5 lengths to Trawlerman in 2nd. In 3rd is Stay True. On the outside is Saratoga, and then Sweet William. Trawlerman now within a length of Al Kareem as they pass the 6 and race on towards the 5. Al Kareem by only a half length now to Trawlerman, who's now ranging alongside the leader. Behind them, Stay True is just pushed along, Saratoga on his outside, and finally Sweet William. So it's all set fair as they head to the final turn, and Clifford Lee now driving Al Kareem along. He is a horse that finds plenty, but Trawlerman at this stage going much better as they run into the turn. Trawlerman on the outside of Al Kareem. Stay True in 3rd now. Sweet William making quite stealthy headway, and finally Saratoga, and William Buick now kicks for the judge on Trawlerman, turning into the home straight, and he's gone 3-4 lengths clear of Al Kareem. Sweet William giving chase on the outside. Stay True not making any further impression inside the final 2, and it's Trawlerman who is clear of old rival Sweet William, who is closing a little bit, running down to the final furlong. Trawlerman by 3 lengths is diminishing. Sweet William is trying hard in 2nd place. Trawlerman needs the line now. Sweet William getting closer within 2 lengths. It's still Trawlerman from his 2nd, Sweet William, but Trawlerman is tremendous, and he wins the Long Distance Cup for the 2nd time. And they're off. Big Mojo on the stand side in the noseband. Art Power towards the centre. The grey is showing speed. Lazat, probably just the early leader. Run to Freedom is close up towards the far side with no half measures. Iberian over there. James's Delight chasing. Also in the far side group is Ten Bob Tony with Flora of Bermuda and Montassive chasing those. Towards the near side, and maybe slightly behind at the moment, are Quinault from Inisherin, and then Kind of Blue and Big Mojo and Witness Stan, Rayevka, Powerful Glory at the back, King Kuan and King's Gamble, who's being driven along as they race on now inside the final 1/4 mile. And down the far side, Lazat in the red cap. Down the near side, Quinault chased by Kind of Blue and Big Mojo. Inisherin towards the centre, far side no half measures. Powerful Glory being produced now in the yellow jacket. Far side, Flora Bermuda. It's Lazat that leads the way, the Jubilee winner. But on the near side, still Quinault. Also Powerful Glory. Also no half measures on the far side. Lazat is all out. Powerful Glory coming with a late surge. It's going to be tight. Powerful Glory on the near side of Lazat. They're off, racing for the Kipco British Champions Fillies and Mares Stakes. And away from the stalls at the 1.5 mile starting point, and Ballet Slippers into an early lead. On the inside, Kisisana is being restrained. Kalpana going into second. Then We Might Take the Long Way in the light blue jacket. The grey Estrange on the inside then of Wardar. Bedtime Story further back with Danielle. And at the rear of the field is Latakia as they run down the hill towards Swinley Bottom. Ballet Slippers skipping along in front by a half length to last year's winner and favourite to win again, Kalpana in second. Kisisana is third, followed by We Might Take the Long Way. Then Estrange and Danny Tudhope on the inside of One Look in the red cap. Wardar Yellow Jacket out wide of Bedtime Story. The last two Latakia on the outside of Danielle. Into Swinley Bottom, swinging right-handed and on their way to the 7 furlong marker. And it's Ballet Slippers that leads, tracked all the while by Kalpana in second. Kisisana is back in third, followed by, then in the light blue, We Might Take the Long Way. Estrange, One Look, Bedtime Story, Wardar, Latakia, Danielle. Up the hill now and about to race past the 6 furlong marker and now racing on towards the 5. Ballet Slippers and Wayne Lorden by a half length to Kalpana and Colin Keane. Kisisana is third on the inside of We Might Take the Long Way. Estrange is held up on the inner behind these alongside One Look. Then a length and a half to Wardar and Bedtime Story, and still at the back Latakia and Danielle. They're about to run into the final half mile and approaching the home turn. And still Ballet Slippers sitting pretty in second is Kalpana at the moment. Kisisana on the inside. We Might Take the Long Way. Estrange goes well. Might need an out. Being held in by One Look. Then Wardar travelling well as well. Lots with chances as they swing the corner. Ballet Slippers and Kalpana. We Might Take the Long Way. Kisisana. Estrange is having to fight for a bit of racing room and did so there. Angling out into One Look. Down the home run. He says go on Kalpana. Here comes Estrange now. Charging down the outside of We Might Take the Long Way and Kisisana, but Kalpana has skipped 4 lengths clear. Estrange is trying, so too is Kisisana, but Kalpana is not for stopping and is not for catching, and she backs up in the British champions, Fillies and Mares. Estrange second. Potentially a brilliant renewal. Field of Goal from stall 14 on the near side and just dropped in behind Dancing Gemini and Rosalien in the early stages. Going forward up the centre is the grey filly Fallen Angel. Tamfana is handy. Also Marvel Man and Exactly in a Purple Cap. Tracking those over on the far side, the Lion in Winter, Alakazi down the centre. They're followed by Kudwar. And then behind those is Docklands, well covered up in these early stages with Carl Spackler. And back in the field, Never So Brave is nearer last than first, so too is January. And also towards the rear, held up is Facteur Cheval, and Cicero's Gift is on the far side. They're very well grouped together, and it's probably Marvel Man and Dancing Gemini disputing it with Fallen Angel. Far side is Exactly. Just in behind them, Alakazi. Field of Gold still held up towards the outside of the group, just behind Rosalien. Could develop into a real sprint finish as they run on towards the final 3 furlongs or so. Marvel Man, far side in the purple cap, Exactly. Dancing Gemini, Fallen Angel now being driven hard. Then Tamfana, Field of Gold about to be produced on the right-hand side with Rosalien ridden along. Trying to come through from the back is Docklands, Cicero's Gift and the Lion in Winter. The Lion in Winter with a chance. Cicero's Gift on the far side taking off. A wide open race. Cicero's Gift at a massive price from the Lion in Winter. Docklands runs on. Alakazi, Field of Gold in the final furlong. Cicero's Gift holding on at the moment from the Lion in Winter, and it's another major shock on British Champions Day as Cicero's Gift for the Kipco Champion Stakes of 2025, and they're away. Almeric switched in behind early. Devil's Advocate kept very wide. Mount Kilimanjaro also going forward in the dark blue. The pack are headed by Fox Legacy, Delacroix and First Look. Then on the inside, Yellow Jacket, Almecam as the pacemakers track across. Ombudsman is held up towards the back behind Calandagan, and then Economics on the inside. Prague is on the inside of Almeric. First Look in the red cap out wide as they go into Swinley Bottom, and it's Mount Kilimanjaro from Devil's Advocate. In third is Almecam, then Fox Legacy. They're followed then on the inside by Prague, and then First Look, and then Almeric on the inside. Economics just looked a little short of room perhaps around there. Delacroix just ahead of him now from Calandagan, and Ombudsman, who must be 12 lengths behind the leaders, is last of all. They're already heading towards the final 5 furlongs, and the 2 pacemakers are now set alight. Mount Kilimanjaro and Devil's Advocate. They go 5 lengths clear of Almacam in second. Prague is back in fourth, then Fox Legacy. First Look, a gap then to Almeric, and then Delacroix, and then behind these is Calandagan. Also Economics on the inside, and Ombudsman still looking on from last place, and they're now beginning the turn into the home straight, and Devil's Advocate goes up past the second horse, Mount Kilimanjaro. 4 or 5 lengths then to Almacam in third. Prague, they're well strung out. Surely these leaders will stop quickly. Fox Legacy peeling out wide. Calandagan, also Ombudsman on the extreme right. Delacroix not getting a good run. First Look runs on well. They head now inside the final 2. Almacam, Calandagan picking up well with Ombudsman down the near side. These 2 going on. Delacroix's got 3 lengths to make up. It's up in front, Calandagan, a length and a half. Ombudsman trying to get him, but the French horse is remorseless. The King George winner, Calandagan, wins at Ascot in the Kipco Champion Stakes. One of the great horses in Europe. In second, Ombudsman, Almacam third, and Delacroix in fourth.